Ever been with a nigga that's just so toxic? He just triggers all your insecurities, triggers all your issues. Any demons you thought was put away, he brings them out. Yeah, that's a toxic nigga. And you probably in a toxic ass relationship too. It could be even toxic family relationships. It can be even toxic friendships. Toxicity goes everywhere. And somehow we all have to deal with it. I got a lot I got to talk about today. So let's get into some things. Linkin with Robbie. So dude hit me in my DM, right? And I'm just like, all you niggas freak out, and that's just all it is. First off, girl, fuck him. And you are now listening to Linkin with Robbie. Bring 'em in, bring 'em in. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Robbie Curtis. I am here with another episode. What's up? What's everybody going through? How y'all week been? How y'all been feeling? I know how I've been feeling. And it's been an anxiety-ridden week, which is why I'm talking about the topic I'm talking about, because some shit just bothers me. Like, oh my God. Outside of that, let's talk about some updates on my life. Not many, but there's some things going on, some changes happening. Like I said last episode, I officially have no roster. I feel like I'm at the point, I was telling my best friend yesterday, I feel like I'm at the point where I'm literally checking niggas off, cussing niggas out, blocking them, cutting them off, left and right. I'm honestly at a point where I'm so indifferent to people that it don't take much for me to be like, ooh, gotta go. Out the door, you gotta go, bitch. That's how I feel every day. Out the door, you gotta go, bitch. Out the door, you gotta go, bitch. I literally say that every day now at this point, because that's how I feel about these niggas. Funny story. So I'm in a group chat, right? A Twitter group chat where like it's nothing but Florida content creators that got OnlyFans and other type stuff. And we're in this group chat. And there's this young boy. I believe he probably like maybe 20, 21. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe even 19. He's a young jit. And he come in there asking us for advice about his nigga. But as he goes and tells the story, he starts off by saying his nigga cheated on him. He caught him cheating on him with this guy. He caught cheating on him with that guy. And how he just slanging cum all over the nation. And just all kind of stuff. Only to end the conversation with letting us know that's not even his nigga. This somebody he's perceived as his nigga, and he has claimed as his nigga, but the nigga doesn't have the title and clearly doesn't have the commitment. So we're trying to explain to him, at some point you gotta accept accountability and stop being naive and get your ass out of that situation. It's up to you to leave that situation. And you're sitting there continuously getting a headache about something that ain't yours, who is showing you he ain't yours. I know that comes with a little bit of experience and wisdom, I guess, but even at that age I wasn't chasing behind a ghost. I wasn't chasing behind somebody who clearly don't want to be bothered. I was not doing that. I had enough. Nah, I wasn't doing that. I had enough love for myself that I wouldn't put myself in that position. So we keep trying to tell him like, dude, you sound dumb. Stop getting worked up about something that you know ain't yours. Move on to something else. He do content. You do content. Why the fuck are you stressing about this? Why? Only to wake up this morning to look in the group chat and he is still going on ranting and raving about this nigga, talking about he had to get a gun. He caught the nigga here. He was messaging people on Jack, asking them why they in the same vicinity of his nigga. He is literally checking. Yeah, I know we've all done it before, but we've done it when we was in relationships, and it was toxic and retarded then. Pardon my words for the R, but it was strange to do it then. But he's literally looking on Jack. I'm pretty sure he's creating accounts, and he's looking in the vicinity of wherever his quote unquote nigga is, and he's watching every punk that looks like they're too close, and he's messaging them talking about, why are you there with my nigga? It is the most insane thing I've ever seen, and we're trying to guide the young lad, and he just doesn't see it. These young niggas do some dumb crash out shit, and I just don't understand Because nigga, just Wednesday you said you was done with this nigga, and now it's Saturday, and now you pulling out guns. It is too much. But this is just what they do, and you can't do nothing but sit back and watch. Another thing going on. So this week was pay week, right? For some reason, every pay week, every 2 weeks, there's one or two niggas that's gonna hit me up. Either Rochester gonna hit me up or Jail Bay gonna hit me up. Now, Jail Bay is not in jail no more. I still call him Jail Bay because when I met him, he was in that type of situation. You know, Akon, locked up. So that's how I see him. He don't really necessarily fuck with me on a day-to-day basis. He doesn't talk to me on a day-to-day basis. He tries to, but he really doesn't. He always say he out hustling, trying to get money and stuff like that. Cool. But every time I see you on your story, you out turning up with somebody. But you only call on me on pay week. So you know what that means. We get into it because it's Tuesday. I don't get paid till Thursday, but you hit me up and I know it's on some funny shit. So I let you know off rip like, hey, I can't afford to be trying to take care of you, take care of myself, hold down the house and do all this other stuff. You not my nigga. I shouldn't have to be doing all that. You made it clear you doing your own thing. Kudos to you. Get your hustle on, nigga. But don't hustle me. So I say this, he gets so mad. He ranting and raving. He mad. He's so mad. He calling me every word on the book is, oh, y'all niggas get money. Y'all start acting like y'all this. Oh, when you were broke, you was all up in me and loving me and want to be around me. No, nigga. It had nothing to do with me being broke or rich because I was there regardless when you was locked up, bitch. What are you talking about? It's not that. It's the fact that you don't fuck with me until you can get something from me. I don't fuck with that. So yeah, I give you my ass to kiss when my pay come in. Cause I know you finna come in and ask for something, and then you're gonna give me my ass. You gonna give me your ass to kiss when I don't have no money. So yeah, I flipped the reverse on you. Yeah, I did. Yeah, back to you. Uno reverse. It's your turn. What the fuck are you talking about? Like that drives me insane. It's something the Rochester nigga, which is my ex, would do constantly to me. I wouldn't see him. He wouldn't hit me up. He wouldn't say, hey, bye, check on me. How the flowers in the yard? Did you take trash out today? How was work? Do you feel like shooting somebody today? Nothing. None of that. Just straight, can I get $10 for this? I need to get me a drink. Can you send me some money for my haircut? This, that, and the third. And I'd be there, like clockwork. But it's my loyalty that puts me in that situation, and I have to be able to look at myself and say, Robert, don't be a dummy bitch. Don't be a dummy bitch accepting other people's bullshit, trying to be there for them, or trying to prove some type of loyalty, or try to prove that you could hold somebody down. You don't owe that to nobody. So that's life lessons I've been learning throughout the week that I've already learned countless times again. And I keep somehow being hit with the same bullshit. So I'm guessing the universe is trying to say, Robbie, get your shit together and stop making the same mistakes. So that's what I'm trying to do. Needless to say, we go through all this back and forth all throughout this week. He done blocked me. He done got mad. Jailbait, that is. He done got mad, done blocked me. All this stuff just to turn around the next day. And guess what he do? On payday. Ask me for some money. When I expressed to him what I'm spending my money on and what I got my money for and what I need it for versus what he wants me to use it on, he takes offense and again gets defensive. You can't ask somebody for something and get defensive about it. You're not entitled to my money. You're not my nigga. I think a lot of these niggas who be hustling and tricking, they get used to dealing with tricks. You feel me? They get used to dealing with somebody who is going to sponsor their life. I ain't your daddy. I ain't your trick. I ain't your boss. I ain't your sugar daddy. I ain't none of that. I'm not them. So don't look to me to do those things. You're a grown ass man. Get it out the mud somehow. But don't come over here asking me how to get it out. Don't come over here trying to get my help. I help you, but only if you helping yourself. Otherwise, I'm causing damage to myself. I'm hurting me more than I'm helping you. And that's a fucking problem. And I can't afford that. Not in this day and age when eggs is going up every fucking day. You think I'm finna sit up here and use all my savings and earnings for another nigga. No, 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 no. We're not playing that game. Especially when I already have toxic history with this nigga. Me and Jailbait have so much toxic history, it's ridiculous. If I could just go down the list of the times that we've had issues and arguments and he screamed at me and talked to me any kind of way and I've talked to him any kind of way, it just wasn't a good vibe for us. So when he got locked up again for fucking up his probation, when he violated his probation, when we got in that fight, yep, very toxic. When we got in that fight, he violated his probation. He had to go to jail. Yeah, I stopped accepting those calls because my life is finally peaceful. You're locked up with them people. I don't have to deal with it no more. And I don't got to answer a call that I got to pay for if you're going to be cussing and screaming at me. Click. Dial tone off. Blocked. Ain't trying to hear none of that. Ain't trying to hear none of that. You ain't going to be screaming at me from the bars. You're not going to be screaming at me from the door, from your building, from your facility. You're not going to do that. That's not happening. Not on my watch, not on their watch. I know they don't let y'all have watches. That ain't happening, Jail Bay. So I ain't allowing that. You feel me? Like, and that brings me to my, like, to the main topic, like the main shit going on. Toxic relationships and when the fuck to let them go, bro. Like, I think I struggle with that the most. Trying to figure out how, when, and should I let go of a toxic relationship? How do I know when something's not good for me anymore? I think my last relationship, I held on for so long. This was with Rochester. I held on for so long to this nigga to the point that it became detrimental for my mental health, for my physical health, for everyone around me. It just was very toxic and not good. It drained all the energy out of me, changed me for who I was into who I am now, gave me trauma, PTSD, and made me jaded as fuck. So because of that, I go into situations with that mindset of like, if this brings me stress or a headache more than it brings me bliss and happiness, you gotta go. Like, I don't spend more than a day being aggravated or annoyed by somebody. I don't have to deal with it. I don't need the person. So why would I deal with that, you know? I'm not in a financial situation or in some type of turmoil where I have to deal with a headache ass nigga. I don't. I don't got to do that. I can dip at any point. So I cut off very well. But I wasn't always that way. My last relationship, I didn't know how to let it go. It's still some parts of me where I'm still healing from that because sometimes I'll see something he's posted or I'll see a picture or I'll hear something and it triggers me. Like it takes me back to a place or it just brings that memory back of when I was down and out, when I was hurting, when I was holding down somebody who couldn't do the same for me. Like, he didn't have the same strength I did. He wasn't tough as I was to deal with the shit I was dealing with. So, yeah, that toxic relationship made me really want to, like, never deal with any of that before. Like, the physical violence, the arguing, the disrespect, the countless rules being broken and homes being shattered. Like, nah, I refuse to put myself in that position. When that nigga kicked me out the house, Diary of a Mad Black Woman style, and had me sitting out there on that porch looking crazy as fuck, that's when I made a decision that I was like, yeah, I'll never put my life in another nigga's hands. I'll never rely on a relationship that's clearly not healthy for me. Nah, never that. And sometimes I see other relationships and I see people go through that stuff and I feel bad for them because I'm waiting for them and I'm praying they're going to see an exit plan. I'm praying that they're going to say, I don't got to deal with this shit no more. And they get the fuck out. I pray for that because a relationship can destroy you. You know, people lose their lives. So I don't know if you guys are aware of a story going around where two gay guys, black dudes, were dating and basically one of them was unalived by the other partner. Apparently the victim made a post on Facebook, I believe, saying, how they found their person, basically announcing the relationship. And I believe a day or two later, that person that they claim to have found for them unalived them. And I can't fathom why. It doesn't really matter why. But that's something that's for some reason has been taking place constantly in our community, not just in the gay community, the straight community, just all around, where a lot of domestic violence cases are ending in murder, ending in death, because I don't, the most, sometimes even the most petty or mundane reasons, people are losing their lives. I'm going to read this article so I can get a little bit more detail, because I don't want to just be talking at the side of my neck. I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. So let me see. Give me a second while I scroll up. Well, okay, I got my article right here. All right. A New York man has been arrested and charged with murder after authorities say he killed a Charlotte, North Carolina man. Rumor has it that the victim and murder suspect were in a relationship, but authorities have not confirmed or denied that rumor. It happened early Sunday morning in Pitt County, North Carolina. According to police warrants obtained by the North Carolina Beat, Matthew Warren of Buffalo, New York, was taken into custody and charged with the murder of 36-year-old Rashawn Gray, known affectionately by friends and online as Buddha Boo. Let me go on and read some more. Just hours before the alleged murder, both Gray and Warren had taken to Facebook to express their happiness about a new relationship. Around 7 p.m. on Saturday, though, Gray posted, "Found my person." Shortly after, at 9:18 p.m., Warren also shared his excitement on his own Facebook page, writing, "Okay, y'all, I'm happy. Finally, yes, I have a man." Authorities say that around 3:30 a.m. Sunday, deputies responded to a call about a suspicious person in the area of Abbott Farm Road and Roundtree Road, just outside the town of Ayden in Pitt County. When deputies arrived, they observed two men exiting a wooded area. Both individuals were immediately detained for questioning. During the preliminary investigation, deputies discovered Rashawn Gray pinned underneath a vehicle nearby. The Pitt County Sheriff's Office has confirmed the death is being investigated as a homicide, though Gray's exact cause of death has not yet been released pending autopsy results. It's 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 crazy. It then goes on to say, investigators confirmed that Warren and Gray were and did know each other, though the exact nature and timeline remain under investigation. Officials say a dispute occurred between the two before the deadly incident. Warren is currently being held at the Pitt County. Okay, it don't even matter. So what I'm gathering from this is the victim. So Rashawn Gray. Let me say the name. I don't want to call him the victim. I'm gonna say his name. Rashawn meets a guy, posts on Facebook that he found this person. That said person turns around, does the same thing, basically saying, "Yeah, I got me somebody too." Not even a day later, apparently they have a dispute, and he unalives this man. We don't know the cause of death, but they found him pinned underneath a vehicle. So there's plenty of different ways this could have taken place. My true crime brain starts working, but regardless of the fact, this just highlights more domestic violence in relationships, more abuse that ends in tragedies like this. Like, this is such a tragic situation because when this happened, I didn't know him, but when this happened, my timeline went insane. There were so many people that I saw that knew him or knew of him or was familiar with the posts themselves. And a lot of people was taken aback and automatically was suspecting the boyfriend. just from the scenario. And once you read the details and you pay attention and you realize, oh, they were all together. You see he was there at the scene of the crime. He's there near the body. It's a lot going on. And for the deputies to say there was a possible dispute beforehand, they have more details that's letting them know that. They just haven't released it yet. It terrifies me because although I've been in some very volatile relationships and I've been in some toxic situations, I never once contemplated losing my life or that being a capability or a possibility. Now I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking back and I'm just wondering, what if there's no signs? What if it's a situation where you just meet the person and you're still getting to know them? People always say, oh, well, if they hurt you or hit you, leave the situation. Or why didn't you leave? Why did you stay and deal with it? Sometimes toxic relationships are so difficult to let go because that's either all you know or you've normalized it. Like, you look at it and it seems normal. A lot of people these days think this shit is normal in relationships. I know I did. But in a case like this, that doesn't even apply because they had just met. Now, I don't know the transgressions of their history or how far it goes back, if they've known each other for a long time prior to the incident. Those details haven't been revealed, but regardless of the matter is he wasn't given a chance to flee. He wasn't given a chance to walk away from the situation. Regardless of the matter, it doesn't apply because it wasn't like he was given a chance to get out of the relationship. He just got in it. He didn't know what he was dealing with, you know? But even if you do know, I do know it's not easy to walk away. And it will be distasteful to sit here and point fingers or blame him or blame anyone. Then I even saw, I guess, the suspect's ex, I guess, or someone who used to deal with the suspect. He came out and made a post basically saying something like, oh, I was close to being another victim, or saying something like God protected me and God got me or something like that. And then a video circulated of him and the boy fighting. So clearly he wasn't out of the clear either. He was just in the same situation. Yeah, clearly he was in the same abusive situation, same toxic relationship, just a different form. And for him to pop out of the woodwork, coming out of nowhere, just hopping out of daisies, talking about what he went through and comparing it to the guy in that situation, and basically saying, oh, God protected me from ending up in this situation. Baby, you wasn't that far off from that situation. And why would you even speak right now? This isn't about you. Why are you trying to get clout off of a situation so toxic and disturbing and tragic? All you should be saying is sending prayers and condolences. Like, for you to fix your mouth to even come out and make a statement pertaining to the situation is disturbing in itself, because why do you want to even be related to this? I wouldn't say a damn thing. I don't want nobody to know the suspect is my ex. I don't want nobody to know I've been dealing with this. I don't want anybody to know I have anything to do with this. So the last thing I'm going to do is try to attach my name to it for clout. And this is the worst form of clout. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but it happens. It just brings me up so many different situations I've seen on the Beagle relationships where they be on there fighting for coins or gifts or whatever the fuck they be on Beagle for. Or the gays that be on Twitter going back and forth. And I've seen so many violent relationships. I've been in some. And it's funny and cute sometimes, but then you really, really look back at it. It's toxic as fuck. It's toxic as fuck. And no one should have to deal with this. It's disgusting. It really is. And I'm sending my prayers to their family, to the Gray family, Rashawn Gray's family. I'm sending prayers to his friends. I'm sending prayers to him and his spirit, because he thought he found someone that he can love. He thought he found someone he could trust. He didn't think he found someone who would want to take his own life. You know, he didn't think he found his killer, you know, and It's sad, it's terrible, and it's tragic. And I wish as a society we could fucking do better. We have to learn to walk away. It's not worth attacking someone. Just here in my city, Orlando, I believe it was Orlando. I didn't look into the case, so I may get some details wrong. But just here, a guy killed a woman, killed her, murdered, unalived her for no reason at all, if you ask me, you know? And now he's sitting in jail. And this somebody who had just recently, because I watched the mugshots page, just recently was posted for domestic violence and assault. Just to get out, turn around, and commit murder. It's rough, and there needs to be something done in the system. There needs to be something done to where these individuals don't get second chances to do it again. If they're not redeeming themselves, they're not learning or rehabilitating themselves, don't give them a fucking chance to do it again. And this is not to the victims or the people that are being assaulted. This is for the system, the justice system, the public. Stop giving these niggas chances. Stop giving them excuses. Stop justifying what the fuck they're doing. It's fucked up and it's wrong. Whew. I gotta cleanse my thoughts. I need a moment. As I've stated before, I've been in toxic situations. And some of you may be aware of some because you probably were in the vicinity of some. Me and my ex, Rochester, we had plenty physical altercations that I regret, I'm remorseful for, and I wish never took place. Sometimes we would allow ourselves to get so pit up in rage where we have a hard time walking away. We'll say the lowest and lowest of things to each other to hurt one another. And out of toxicity or out of frustration, we'll push or shove or choke each other or just take things too far physically where we shouldn't even be putting our hands on each other. And I can't make it like I was a victim and I can't make it like he was a victim. We both were volatile. We both started plenty of fights. We both did too much to the point where our relationship had to end abruptly because he didn't feel safe and I didn't feel safe. Both of us felt unsafe in the same environment. It was no longer a safe environment. He didn't want to be there no more. He found someone new. I didn't want to be there anymore. I moved on. And how can I put this? Okay. My relationship with Rochester didn't start off toxic. It didn't start off poorly. He love bombed me, you know? He showed me so much affection, so much attention, so much care and delicacy. It was like, never had a man so attentive before. Never had a man so, like, controlling in a way, but protective. It wasn't until our first altercation where I realized things aren't as they seem. We maybe was in a relationship for at least a month at this point. I still remember it like it was yesterday. How can I put this? I still remember it like it was yesterday. We were getting ready for work. Well, I was getting ready for work. So in the morning I would go, he'll turn my car up, and let it warm up the heater because it was cold at the time. I believe it was winter time, maybe like January, February. And he would basically, so I would go to work, he would take my car and go to school. Or I would drop him off to school and I would go to work, depending on. And I'm not sure what the argument was about, but it was one of those mornings where he just wanted to just yell, rant, and rave and scream at me about something stupid. I had never seen that side at that point. That was the first time I had seen him get aggressive towards me because he had been so loving and caring. And I'm in the passenger seat and he's in the driver's seat. We're still in the parking spot. We have not left because we're arguing. And I'm like, why are we arguing? I don't even remember what we were arguing about. It was the most stupid argument ever. It wasn't about anything important. He's screaming at me. He's yelling at me or whatever. He's in my face. He's cussing me out. I'm telling him to get out of my face, just to back up, because I'm feeling defensive. I don't like feeling threatened. He proceeds to put his hand around my throat and pushes me like he's choking me up in the car. In this moment, I've never been in a situation like this where a guy is doing this, thinking he's getting me together or thinking he's checking me. He chokes me up, and my initial reaction, I punched him in the nose. When I punched him in the nose, his nose starts bleeding immediately. So now he gets out the car. He's ranting and raving. He can't believe I hit him. And he punches my tail light out. So now his hand is scarred up and bleeding, on top of his nose being bleeding. I'm feeling remorseful because I didn't want to hit him, but you have your hands on my throat. So you have me screaming like you were touching me first. You put your hands on me first. I was protecting myself. I didn't just go off and attack you. I'm not that type of person. But you put your hands on me. And then you proceeded to attack and vandalize my car because you put your hands on me and didn't think I was going to hit you back. And as toxic as it is, we make up, get in the car, and now neither one of us is going where we're supposed to be going. I'm not going to work. He's not going to school. We're going to the hospital to see if he needs stitches for his hand. And I'm pretty sure the doctors and the nurses and everybody there at the hospital is looking at us like, let me guess, y'all was fighting? Because the bruise is on his knuckle. Because you punched my car. You hit my tail light. And even though his nose wasn't bleeding and I didn't break anything or whatever like that, they can tell there was a scuffle between us two. He had blood on his shirt. And it's not something I'm proud of. But it was so many instances where that would happen. And I would be put into the corner of feeling so hateful for myself or feeling like it's all my fault, taking all the blame, not realizing this is a toxic environment we're both in. And neither one of us want to walk away. Too busy trying to control everything, trying to control the narrative, trying to dictate where the other goes, what happens here, who knows what's happening, trying to control everything like that. And that was within the first month of us being together. We were together for almost 3 years. I thought that was one incident. There became many. Many incidents. Many incidents where I walk away or I will be cornered or I will go somewhere to get away from the noise, to get away from the violence. And it will only go worse from there. And I've allowed the narrative to go around that I'm some abusive, crazy partner when that's farthest from the truth. 99% of the time, we were in an altercation. It was because I was trying to escape. I would go into the bathroom and lock the door. He'll punch a hole in the bathroom and punch a hole in the bathroom door or knock the door down trying to get to me. That's something I dealt with. And it was even worse when he drank. And I do have severe anxiety. I do have anger issues. So when I get put in a position where I can't flee, I can't protect myself by leaving the situation, I get abusive because I'm protecting myself. So if you put your hands on me and I'm trying to get away and you don't let me, I will hit you to get you off of me. And then I would walk away. The police would come and then he would call the police and then immediately get to the door and tell them ain't nothing wrong. We all good. Everything fine. While I'm in the bathroom probably crying. Or while I've got in my car and left to get away from the situation. He'll call me and tell me bring my ass back. I will come back. We will lay down in the catastrophe, help each other clean up. And it was the most volatile, toxic relationship that we normalized. And a lot of it, when we walked out of the relationship, I took all the blame. I sat up there and told myself the demise of our relationship was because of me and my issues, me not being able to handle my emotions. But then I get out of that relationship and I realize I don't have those incidents anymore. I realize they only happen seldomly when someone triggers me. So I do know there's some healing I still need to do. But I also know sometimes people can bring the worst out of you. And we brought the worst out of each other. And again, there was probably flags and signs there in the beginning that I didn't notice. And sometimes we don't notice them signs, or we do notice them and we just ignore them and tell ourselves that, oh, they're gonna change. That's a lot of times I kept saying. I'm saying, okay, things are gonna get better between us. We're gonna stop doing this. We're gonna stop arguing. We're gonna stop fighting. We're gonna stop being toxic to each other. Thinking the other person is gonna change, but their triggers aren't going away. My triggers aren't going away. Our demons are still existing. It sometimes comes a point where you have to be aware, not just self-aware, but you have to be aware of your partner to know he's not going to change. And for my safety and for my sanity and my mental health and physical health, because sometimes it could be just emotional abuse, which is just as bad, you do have to get out of that situation. And that's why it saddens me for this young man to just get in a relationship. Just get into a relationship just for that to happen. No preparation, no time to get out of the situation. I don't even know the details of what happened because they haven't been released. But yeah, it's sad. It's really sad and tragic seeing somebody have to go through that. And I wish better for us. And I know the change that I want, I have to be. So I'm starting with myself, That's why I've been working on myself and protecting my peace and just working on what triggers me and what brings me to a place where I feel like I have to protect myself or defend myself. I don't want to be in those situations. So whenever I'm talking to someone or dating someone and they talk to me a certain kind of way, or they approach me a certain kind of way, or they're too aggressive, or they put their hands on me, I immediately did it because that's not for me. And I refuse to allow somebody to hurt me in that way again. So I don't want to put myself in that environment or put myself in that place where I can't even run away or I can't flee because I'm so deep. I'm so deeply in love with the person. I can't do that anymore. And I wish it was possible to walk away. A lot easier than it is. It's been, what is this year? 2025. Broke up in 20. It's almost been 3 years since we broke up. And the wounds still feel fresh. The pain still feels fresh. I still have memories. I still have nightmares. Sometimes I have to remind myself because I look at, sometimes nostalgia hits, right? I see a memory on Facebook or a memory on Snapchat saying, oh, remember this from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. And I have to remind myself of the nights I was crying. I have to remind myself of the days I felt abused. It would be nights where we would go out, have a good time, right? And he'll be mad about something because he's gotten so drunk. He's using that time to let out how he feel about whatever. It got so bad to the point where I started recording him. Not visually. I would set up an audio recorder on my phone. He doesn't know I'm recording. Just to record the things he's saying to me. Because the next morning he would always say he don't remember. Or he would always dumb down what he said. I remember one time I recorded a recording. I never kept it. I had to delete it. It was a bit much for me. And he sat there for, I kid you not, at least 20 to 30 minutes. Saying how much he hated me. How I wasn't nothing. Talking down to me as a person, where I came from. Speaking on all my insecurities. Throwing them all in my face. Talking about my body. Talking about this. saying how I bring him down, how I tear him down, how I make him a worse person. I'm supposed to be making him better, and basically just told me I wasn't shit in layman's terms, that I wasn't shit. And I ate that. For a while, I listened to those recordings of him just basically reading me my rights and just drunk slurring about how much he despised me and how much I discussed him. And I used to listen to it over and over again, and it started becoming embedded in how I saw myself, to where I didn't think I could do better because he said I couldn't. And it hurts. Um, it still hurts. It's a fresh hurt because looking back, I didn't view him that way. Everyone around me was saying that he was bringing me down, and I didn't see it that way. I saw it as I was there for him. He was there for me. We was lifting each other up. But that was me looking at it through a rose tint. I was looking at it in a way that was pretty and less embarrassing, because who wants to believe someone that you're in love with is not in love with you? Or even worse, hates you. And I remember the many conversations I would be like, I almost said his name. I'd be like, Rochester, do you hate me? And he'd be like, no, I don't hate you. I just hate how you are. Or I hate what you do. What's the difference? What is the difference from that and hating me as a person? You hate how I think. You hate what I do. You hate me. And it took a lot to get to a place where I had to stop hating myself as well. There's still moments and times where I have those days where I have to basically say, Robbie, you're good. Lift yourself up. You're not a bad person. My therapist had to tell me something because I had to go into therapy after this. My therapist told me something one day. Because I was expressing to him, I was saying, sometimes I feel like I'm such a terrible person. I'm not good enough and I'm bad. And I just want to do better. And him saying to me, the fact that you're concerned about that, the fact that that's a worry that you're having, that shows you're not a bad person, Robert. I had to use my government. And he's right. Being able to look at yourself and say, I see my flaws and I want to improve, that disqualifies you from being a bad person. What a bad person would do, what a narcissistic would do, what an evil, sadistic, disgusting, disrespectful individual would do is blame others or look outside to say, oh, I'm nothing wrong with me. It's them. No. If you're able to look at yourself and see where you fucked up at and still say, you know what, I messed up here, but I can do better, or I'm doing better than I did yesterday, or I do have some progress and improvement, yeah, you're not a terrible person. You're an imperfect person, but who is perfect? And that's something I'm training myself every day. I feel like I've been all over the place on this pod today. I've been talking about so much from just because so much it's so much on my mind that I just want to talk about and touch on. Like, the reason I even started this podcast was a form of therapy, a way of expression, and a way to get my thoughts out without being condensed or someone shushing me up or someone giving me a response or advice. Because I know I'm not fully healed. Um, my last relationship took me up and through there. Went through a lot. There was a lot of infidelity, a lot of trust issues. And to this day, he's still one of the people that will call me if he needs something. And I would answer and try to be there despite him leaving me for someone else. Despite him chasing behind others, being there for others, quote unquote getting married to somebody. But I'm still there when he needs me. And that's something I'm trying to heal from. Because being there for him, in a way, is not being there for myself. And I have to remind myself sometimes of all the trauma and all the toxic things we went through while we were together, the abuse, the emotional abuse, the headache and stress, the nights I cried and slept on the couch because I couldn't lay next to him because I didn't feel protected. I have to remind myself of that. Because if I remind myself of that, I won't fall victim to that again. And I wasn't a perfect partner. No, I wasn't. But you want to find someone that's going to highlight you, you know? You want to find someone that's going to see the greatness in you and help you reach that greatness. Not see the difference, not see the negatives in you and find a way to take advantage of your weak spots. There was a lot of times where I've dealt with someone who knew every bad detail about me and weaponized it against me because they knew I was vulnerable to it. They knew that was my kryptonite. And they used it against me. And I continuously allowed it because I kept leaving myself open for that type of attack on me. I can't allow that no more. Hell, I refuse to allow that anymore. So I know that's not going to happen. It's just, I'm praying one day I get to a better place to where stuff like this doesn't happen anymore. Even down with Jail Bay, as toxic as the premise of our relationship or whatever it was, because we never actually made an official relationship, was toxic in itself. We met up on a hookup type shit. And it just went from there, from like, oh, I liked his vibe. I was still healing from my ex. At the time, my ex was in a new relationship. And I just wanted somebody to have myself. And then he was going away to a halfway program. Jailbait, that is. So it put me in a predicament where I was like, I'm finally opening up to somebody and feeling comfortable, and they're going to be in halfway house. What do I want to do? And I made a decision to stay there and be there for him because I wasn't healed fully. I couldn't handle being alone. So I'd rather be there for somebody who was part-time than be there at all. Problem is, I signed up for something I knew I wasn't ready for. And that caused a lot of issues between us. It caused a lot of arguments. It caused a lot of resentment because I tried to be there and I always fell short somehow. I was never good enough. It was always a complaint. It was always an issue with whatever I was doing or what I wasn't doing, to the point where I just did not care anymore. And now fast forward to today, we still keep in contact, but it's like every 2 weeks he blocks me or I block him because of some exchange we have over the phone where it goes left, and I just don't want to put myself in those predicaments. So every time that happens, I cut him off. But because of his situation and how he's living and what's going on right now, I sympathize. And because of my compassion, I let him back in. And it's the same thing with my ex. When I see something going on, like right now, if he was to call me and say, like he did the last time this dude put him out, call me crying saying, I'm coming home, I'm afraid I might answer and say, come. Even though I know it's not good for me. And that's the part I gotta heal from. I have to heal from the hope and the idea of what it was. Because it's not that. Sorry. It's not gonna get any better. He's not changing. He doesn't want to change. And when you find somebody who doesn't want to change, and they're okay, and they're sitting in their shit, and they're okay with their bullshit, and you're not, you gotta go. You gotta get out of that. You gotta walk away. It's hard to do, easy to say, but you gotta walk away. Damn, bitch, am I freestyling? Sometimes I be like saying stuff, and I be like, "Wow, I do a rhyme every now and then." I feel like I be rapping, I be freestyling sometimes. It just comes off the dome. The bars, they just there. But yeah, I had to get a lot of this off my chest because just recently, so this whole year so far, I've been protecting my peace. So I haven't been hanging out. I haven't been around the wrong crowd. I haven't been up under no nappy headed nigga. I just been working, staying to myself, staying focused. Because that's what I'm doing with my energy. I'm not putting it into anything toxic. I'm not feeding into anything negative. I'm not dealing with that. If you come my way with that, I'm shutting it down. Because that's not what I'm on. I'm on me and making myself happy and doing what I need to do to succeed in my life. And if that means keeping myself locked up in the house until I feel like I can come outside because I'm healed finally, that's what I'm doing. So I've locked myself away like a princess in a dungeon until, or no, the princess at the top of the castle, basically, or the tower or whatever, just waiting to get out. But instead of me waiting until a Prince Charming comes to get me out of the castle or waiting on a handsome prince to come save me, like Cheetah Girl say, I don't want to be like Cinderella. I'm going to step up out of the house and save myself. But by doing that, that means I have to sit down with my shit long enough to figure out what I need to fix about me before I can give myself to another. That's just honestly what it is. I have to figure out what I can do for me and myself, how I can fix myself before I can even attempt, and I mean this, attempt to be there for somebody else or love somebody else. My ex was the last person I was in love with. Jail being somebody else I've loved and cared for deeply. I don't think I've ever reached the status of being deeply in love because I've never allowed myself after my ex. And when I know I'm ready to be in love again and when I'm healed fully and let go all that trauma, yeah, yeah, I'll be back out there. I'll be back outside. Not right now. Not right now. Outside don't need me. I need me. And that's what I'm focusing on. Me. That's what you should do when you get in these situations. Focus on you. When you're trying to heal from a toxic relationship or friendship or whatever situation you're in and you're trying to get out of that and you're trying to heal from it, what you should do, put it into something positive. If that's work and you enjoy your work, do that. If you need a side hobby, do that. Any passions you have, do that. If it's just so simple as you just want to sit and do nothing and you just want to sit there and just enjoy TV or enjoy a movie on Netflix or eat some snacks, do that. Do it. Get out of that headspace and really take time to heal yourself. Self-care isn't just bubble baths and candles. Self-care isn't just, drinking on a Saturday. Self-care is really taking the time to make sure your mental health is in check, making sure your physical health is okay, and making sure you're all right with being by yourself. If you could sit with yourself all day and be at peace with oneself and around you, you've reached it. You've maybe not fully healed, but you've reached a state where you can finally function in this fucked up society without wanting to lose it. Because a lot of my self-care and protecting my peace is to protect others. It's to protect others. Because this society is so fucked up. Truth be told, sometimes I feel like I would lose it and hurt somebody because I can't afford to be hurt like I was before. Which is why I'm keeping myself away from a lot of bullshit. Any triggers, anyone that brings out that side of me or bring out the worst in me, I stay away from. Because I want somebody to bring out the best in me. I want people that bring out positive energy from me. I want people that makes me feel good. That's what I'm looking for. In a partner, in a friend, in any situation I'm in, any environment, it better be something worthwhile that makes me feel good. It has to make me feel good about me and the decisions I'm making, because I've had so many decisions where I felt bad about it. I felt like shit. Like, I shouldn't have allowed myself to reach that point. I don't regret my ex, but I regret a lot of bullshit I did during that relationship. I regret not being the one to walk away, having to be the one to be thrown out when I should have walked away. That's what I regret. That's truly what I regret. I regret allowing him to think that this is a revolving door without a lock or a latch. That's what I regret. But I have the powers and capabilities to change that. I can change how people view me by changing my actions and how I view myself. And that's what I'm doing. So, like, I know this was a little bit a longer pod. It's probably going to be around the length of how my pods are normally going to be. And I do know it was a little bit deeper and a little bit darker in the conversation and topic. Again, I do want to send out my condolences and my prayers to Rashawn Gray and his family, because no one deserves to be unalive. No one deserves to be a victim to somebody else's bullshit or abuse. No one deserves that. And I hope the boyfriend rots in hell. My biggest goal for this year is to fully reach the point where I fully love myself and accept myself, flaws and all. It's hard. It's been a challenge. It's been a test. But a lot of that starts with protecting my peace and being more self-aware and fully understanding who I am. And that's my advice to everybody. Love yourself. Accept yourself, flaws and all. Improve where you can improve at. Be grateful for your progress. And not focus on your missteps. Bitch, I am rhyming. Oh, okay. Anyways. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. And on that note, I did enjoy myself talking to you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you did, come back next Wednesday. Every Wednesday after that. Tune in to what I got to say. And yeah, just keep linking with Robbie.